They are an accident waiting to happen.
Even they hush your mouth talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D. Texas where we stay at. Being inside in order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and nah, we don't play that. Work. This is Cowboy Nation. Work. Welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work. Y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. I'm back. I've had an opportunity to review the tape. I was supposed to be doing this with our people over at Dallas Sports Talk, but unfortunately they had an emergency. They couldn't be here today, but I'm still going to go over the game. It's a week 1 game review. I gave my initial reactions yesterday. Those were reactions based out of the frustration of losing. And it's okay. I was definitely frustrated. I had an opportunity to go back and look at the film a bunch of times. I just looked at a bunch of plays a bunch of times. I kept going back and forth. I wanted to see kind of how I really felt about the team. So I wanted to go over kind of, just my initial reactions and telling you, do I still feel that way afterwards? This will be the last time that we talk about week 1, because after this, we're going to start concentrating on getting ready for the New York Giants in week 2. We need to make sure that we win. The Giants aren't going to necessarily be pushovers. They had a great offseason, and we're going to see on Sunday, kind of what type of team that they actually are when they actually, have their first game. And then, we'll move into kind of pushing forward on getting the boys ready, or getting you ready for the boys game against the New York Giants next Sunday, not in 2 days, well, not tomorrow, but basically the following Sunday. So first thing that I talked about is that we were in a slugfest with the defending Super Bowl champions, and I still feel that way. We were in a game that we had an opportunity to win, and then being able to go back and watch the game, we had a lot of opportunities to win. This wasn't a situation where one pass at the end of the game is what actually lost us. I mean, the easy things to think about, right, are the CeeDee Lamb pass at the end of the game and the one that kind of went through his hands. But there's also a drop touchdown by Ferguson in the end zone. Obviously, we talked about Miles Sanders, not just his fumble, but in addition to his fumble, there was also the fact that he got ran down. I watched that play. There's no way that he should get ran down. Like, he doesn't have the burst. He doesn't have the juice that he is supposed to be the quick hit back, take it to the house back. He's not that anymore. There's absolutely no reason to keep him on the field. It doesn't make any sense. I don't have an answer for it. I feel like if Schottenheimer is what he says he is, he's going to make that change. I mean, he had to have seen what we saw in that game. And then the fumble has to be punished. Like, at the end of the day, you can't allow for, we needed to play a perfect game, and we didn't. More importantly, because of the fumble, you lose a turnover battle with the defending Super Bowl champions. It's hard to recover. I also mentioned that we missed Micah. Man, I got a lot of hate and laughter and all kinds of stuff when I said, hey, we saw that we missed Micah this game. Well, guess what? Man, it was a blaring hole. So here's some of the things that I actually saw. I actually saw even when it came to contain, like sometimes like Damone Clark, when he would have contain, he would get out of hand. I don't know exactly where he was going. You would see Dante Fowler spinning to the inside. I saw Donovan Ezeraku get lost Don't know where he was going. I also saw the holes again. I talked about holding, and I was like, oh, I don't want to make any excuses, but there were some blatant holes, holding calls that did not get called on some very big Jalen Hurts runs. And I'm talking about blatant. I'm talking about out in the open, right at the point of attack where Jalen was going to be running to. You know, it was two of them. One of them, he literally held him and never let go, and then the other one he literally hooked him. I mean, I tried not to blame the referees. Philadelphia did get a bunch of other penalties, so it's not like they didn't want to call penalties on them. I understand it was just missed calls, but man, those were two that really, really, really caused us issues. But I do have issues. I still have the same issues with Donovan Ezra. Even when I go back and relook at it, I believe what I'm seeing is him not wanting to give up the gap integrity. So he isn't going maybe necessarily full speed. I'm not gonna say full speed. Let me back that up. He does go full speed, but there's something where he's not getting that same bend in college and trying to go around. And it's like he's walking right up to him and stopping and looking. You know, it's not like he's trying to get to as if the bull rush would be the only thing that worked for him, and it's not his style. I mean, he's not going to get there from strength. He gets there from speed. So I don't know if it's something that Eberflus is telling him, hey, you can't just run around this tackle because you're going to give this man too much space, or what the deal is. But there just was not a lot of pressure at all from anybody, from Sam Williams. The person that they need to, and I've been saying this forever, and I definitely saw this again. I mean, there was only 6 plays from James Houston. That guy needs to play more. He needs to play more. He's one of those guys that can actually make a difference in the backfield when Fowler didn't appear to be making a difference in the backfield. Now, I do want to mention again, we were playing the defending Super Bowl champions. They have a very good defensive line, and I'd love to see, we'll have this conversation again as far as pass rush when, we play the Giants, who I'm not saying that they're not any good, but they don't have the same line as the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll see, in that situation, whether or not we actually will get any pass rush. But just, my initial reaction was, man, it was bad. After going back, I still feel like it was bad. Additionally, we didn't get very good linebacker play. I was one of those people who was like, man, the linebackers are going to make a difference. Man, if we wouldn't have traded for Kenny Clark, it might have got ugly yesterday. I mean, maybe we'd have had Micah at that point, right? So we would have had pass rush, and maybe things would have been a little bit different. But as far as the run defense was concerned, Kenny Clark is that guy. I mean, he did what he had to do. He made some incredible plays in the middle, and he really stuffed him and Osa in the middle, played amazing. Like I said, I didn't personally see a lot of great play from our linebackers. I just didn't. I thought our linebackers would play a lot better. And I start to wonder. I mean, we talked about Maris Leofau all preseason, and we didn't really see him yesterday. And I don't understand why. And, again, it's kind of one of those old time things, where, man, we're playing all the veterans because we feel like veterans are going to do a better job of, not giving up big plays or whatever, but we're not getting the big plays ourselves. We're not getting any splash plays. And I feel like maybe the defense played good, so maybe not. You start changing things up for a defense that held Saquon Barkley to 60 yards, and maybe, you start getting people out of position, and now all of a sudden Saquon Barkley has 140 yards, and maybe we don't change out anything, but there were some things that I kind of felt like, man, can we try James Houston? Can we try Maris Leofau? I would like to see it, but right now I don't want to be like, hey, Eberflus, I know more than you do. Clearly, I don't. I mean, this guy did a great job with the defense yesterday. I just want to be able to say that we held what some people were trying to say the two best wide receiver combination in the league to, I don't even remember anymore. Let's look this up. I mean, because we don't have much else to do. I know right off the bat that they didn't have a lot of catches at all. And although CeeDee Lamb had 4 drops in the game, at the end of the day, he had a very productive game. And they were talking about being able to shut him down. I didn't see shutdown happen at all. So the Eagles receiving, Dotson was their number 1 in yards. And then obviously their tight end had 7 catches for 44 yards. But man, we had 4 catches between Smith and Brown for a total of 24 yards. 4 catches, 24 yards for those guys. I like to say big shout out to Trayvon Diggs, to Deron Bland. Kyer Elam did get beat deep on one play. He was actually in pretty decent coverage, but he got beat. So, hey, I don't know. Maybe I mean, he played a good game. Like I said, he did get beat, but I don't really have much to say negative about that. We held those 2 guys to 4 catches for 24 yards. That's good defense, and it would have been even worse than that if we could have gotten a pass rush. And I feel like I still feel like we're going to be able to get pass rush. I felt that way at the beginning of the season. I didn't see it against the defending Super Bowl champions, but that doesn't mean that other teams have the same offensive line that they actually have. The other thing that I mentioned yesterday, Miles Sanders being slow, we already talked about that. I talked about the run blocking looking good, but then I said the pass blocking wasn't exactly good to me. I did watch a lot of content where people were praising the job that the Cowboys did, even in pass. I saw some situations specifically with Tyler Guyton where if I felt like he got beat. And I felt like Dak just happened to get rid of the ball before everything was able to get to him. I also saw situations in the middle of the play where he almost got sacked and he ducked up underneath it and was able to run around and still get a pass off. I mean, that was, again, a situation where the offensive line kind of let some people through. But there were some good, clean pockets at some times. So, again, when you say, hey, you're playing defending Super Bowl champions, they have a great defensive line. Everybody's not going to be able to do that to you. And so we'll see, kind of exactly how these guys will look when it comes to another team. But they didn't have Jalen Carter yesterday. So I don't know. I'm not saying that they did a bad job. I'm just trying to give you kind of what I actually saw. I said CD was doing CD things except for the drops. I still feel that way. I mean, we still have to give him credit. The first half of the game, I mean, he was eating them alive. Pickens was eating them alive. And I will say that at the end of the game, I do still feel like the one thing that was done wrong by Schottenheimer was that at the end of the game, when it was time to try to get that score to win the football game, I felt like he should have used our run game a little bit more. He didn't use that run game. He put the ball in Dak's hand. Dak actually threw it. Dak played a very good game. I have not always been the biggest Dak supporter. In his early years, I felt like he was inconsistent. He did everything with his legs, and I'm glad he figured out how to be more consistent because he doesn't have the same legs that he had back in the day. However, he was still able to do some things and move around and make some plays with his legs. But Dak did an incredible job. I understand you want to put the ball in a guy's hands like that if you were playing with any other top quarterback in the league, whether it be Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. You'd want the ball in their hands in an opportunity to win. So I get it. But I just felt like we did a pretty decent job with run blocking. Jalen Carter wasn't in the game. We could have laid in on what we needed to do, kind of ran that clock out. And I think that, those 3 and 4 passes in a row, that we did that, could have been spread out a little bit, and we may have had a better opportunity. And that was just at the end of the game. It's kind of clock management at the end of the game. Other than that, I thought Schottenheimer did an incredible job. And again, hindsight's 2020. Armchair quarterbacks are always right? So, I understand the decision. Don't get me wrong. I understand the decision to put the ball in Dak's hand. I'm with that. I'm 100% with putting the ball in Dak's hands. I just wanted to see a little bit better from the run game. I was impressed with Javonte Williams as a running back. He ran hard. I was impressed. Let me tell you what the very thing that I was impressed the most about. The team came out with some fire, with some spunk. I mean, Tyler Guyton, they've been putting it all over Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everything, where he done threw a punch, hit the man square in the side of the head. I know it hurt. I know it gave him a headache. I don't care what you say. It gave him a headache. I saw the play again where Cavante Turpin, was on the sideline after a decent run and literally was fired up, talking a lot of noise to Philadelphia, letting them know that we here and we're going to be here all night. So I was very excited about the attitude. When Shotty came out and everybody was like, well, we're going to see if we see it on the field. We saw it on the field. Schottenheimer said we was going to compete. They came out to compete. Did they win every rep? No, they didn't win every rep, but they came out to compete. They came out to fight. I felt like they were ready. I felt like there was, okay, we got to talk about this, okay? Mike McCarthy's team was very much so undisciplined. This team appeared to be disciplined. We didn't get the same amount of flags and penalties that we got that would put us in the 1st and 20 or 2nd and 15 because somebody done got a holding penalty or somebody done jumped off sides or something crazy like that. We didn't have that. From a Brian Schottenheimer standpoint, I got to give you kudos. I got to give you praises to say, hey, you fixed one of the things that really, really, really would continually kill the Cowboys. And that was part of what we said we were going to have to be able to do, was to play a perfect game. Like I said, if it wasn't for the fumble, we probably would have won that game, and it wouldn't have been a perfect game because you still would have had the drops by CeeDee Lamb and different things like that. But you would have had much closer to a perfect game had it not been for that drive. Either Miles Sanders running all the way in and not getting caught, or not fumbling, because that was the same drive. So I don't have anything negative to say about Schottenheimer. I don't have anything that's negative to say about Dak. Did he play a perfect game? No, but I mean, he played one of the better games I've ever seen him play. The only person I did see Toya on the field a lot more than Mozzie. That was interesting. That was something that probably needs to be talked about. I don't think I have enough information or enough insight to talk about it. But it kind of worked. Toya and Solomon coming in. It wasn't exactly how we talked about earlier because we didn't have Kenny Clark at the time, but it actually didn't look half bad. I did see Toya get pushed off the ball at least once. I don't remember if it's more than that, but I know at least once I saw him kind of get pushed back a little bit. But, I mean, he's a massive guy. He has the size. I think he's going to continue to learn. I think all of the guys will continue to learn from Kenny Clark and just continue to get better. Now, here's kind of what I'm thinking. That was the first game of the year, right? We continue to grow. We have great coaches. We've seen that now, right? We've got good coaches. Eberflus is a good coach on defense. Schottenheimer is a good coach on offense. We have good coaches. We continue to grow. We get a little bit better next week and a little bit better the week after that. I'm not saying that we're going to win the rest of the games out. No, I had a team going 11-6. I still feel the same way. But I do feel that we're going to win some games that people don't feel like we're going to win. And we're going to be okay. And we continue to get better. I did talk about one of the reasons that I said beforehand the Cowboys might not win this game is because they were new to Schottenheimer's offense. And then they're also new to Eberflus's defense. Everything is just a little bit different than what it has been. We have new guys. They trying to come together with the linebacker core. again, which the only thing I have negative to say about the entire team would be the play of the linebackers. I didn't like what I saw from the linebackers, but even they, I believe, I mean, Eberflus is a linebacker whisperer. I feel like he's going to get that corrected. He's going to watch the film. He's going to show the film to them. He'll be able to get that corrected. Kenneth Murray can't cover. That's still going to be a problem. They said it forever. Where he came from consistently, that he couldn't cover. And it kind of showed up yesterday that he has issues running with people. So, again, linebacker issues aside, I feel like the Cowboys did a pretty decent job. They're going to continue to get better. They played discipline. They played with possession. I think one of the things that we'll see throughout the year is the team is going to come ready to play every game. You won't see the letdown. Like every year, we would see these crazy letdown games that, like, how do you lose by 40 to New Orleans? How do you get blown out by, was it Arizona Cardinals, I believe, the year before that? Like, all these games where it was just like the team just didn't come to play that game. I don't think that you get that game this year. I think every game they're going to come ready to play. They're going to come ready to compete. That's what Schottenheimer's been preaching since the very beginning. I believe that. They're going to come ready to compete. So the games that they lose will probably be games that they were supposed to lose, right? And there's not a lot of those, in my opinion. The Giants are getting better. We're not supposed to lose. Chicago, much better team than what the Chicago that you had before, but we're not supposed to lose. Then you come to the Green Bay games, right? These are games where, okay, you might can lose this game because it's a playoff game, but the Cowboys are still supposed to win some of these. You saw how they played against the defending Super Bowl champions. You would assume that Philly can beat Green Bay. Well, guess what? Now you have to assume that Dallas can beat Green Bay. I still feel like after seeing some boys run by Tyler Guyton in the Philadelphia game, I feel like Micah may be able to run by Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele on the other side if they're flipping them side to side. And that could cause us a problem. We may have to lean on our run game and yada, 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 different things like that to give them guessing, where they have to start guessing if it's going to be a run or a pass, not just being able to pin their ears back and come after us. But I feel like we can beat Green Bay in that game with the right defense, even though if you watch my 11-6 projection video, you'll see that I have us losing that game, but I still feel like that's a game that we could win, have opportunity to be 12-5 instead of 11-6. That's just how I feel. I'm very proud of the fact that, that they came ready to play. Unfortunately, there are no moral victories. So we lost the game. We got to watch film as a team. They do. I say we. I'm not watching no film with them. They won't let me. I'm not even going to go up there and get rejected like that. But they have to watch film. They have to get better. They have, a team that they should be able to beat next week. And I'm hoping that they do. I'm hoping they come ready to play. I believe Schottenheimer is going to get them there. So we're going to start with that information next week. I'm putting this up Friday night, so you guys will probably be seeing this on Saturday. So by the time we get to Monday, we'll be back into our regular rotation of videos. So some of the things that's coming up, I'll just let you guys know before we leave here. We do have a couple of things. I mean, I'm going to do fan talk. We got one of the guys from the radio station in Alabama that is going to be a part of our show with fan talk. Last week, we had a good time with Chris Murdaugh. This week, just talking about the Eagles game. We'll be talking to him about the New York Giants game. We have defending the spread, where we're going to talk about being able to win some money with some of these Cowboys games and kind of the parlays that make sense and don't make sense. We will be talking about what our offense needs to do in order to win against the Giants. And then we'll turn around and talk about what our defense needs to do in order to win against the Giants. And I'm hoping that I can get back on the phone with Dallas Sports Talk. We can also get that one out the way next week as well. So definitely do me a favor. Go to the subscribe button on YouTube for Defending the Boys podcast right here. Please go to it, hit the button, turn on the notifications so you can see when we're coming with stuff. I'm going to try to continue to bring you great information. I still have my interview with Wanye Thomas that's coming up, and I'll be able to put that up as soon as we get that. So, man, we're just looking to be able to have a good time with you guys. I thank y'all for coming in and, give me a little bit of time and a little bit of, your ears while you're thinking about the Cowboys. And we're going to continue to push forward. 11-6. I still got us going to the playoffs, guys. We're going to have a good time. This is Defending the Boys podcast. I am your boy D. Will. I'm out. Until next time.